Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel and to this week's Throwback Thursday video. So I mentioned in one of my last couple videos, right after I saw Avengers Endgame, that I kind of wanted to do a video where I just kind of talked about some of my favorite or least favorite moments from the movie, and then like we could kind of chat about it in the comments if you saw it and you wanted to give your opinion on it, just so we could kind of have a little fun chatty session. And I figured why not just go ahead and roll that into this week's Throwback Thursday video. It's pretty much been 2 weeks now since Avengers hit theaters, so most people have seen it by now if they wanted to see it. And technically Marvel lifted their spoiler ban on Monday, so it's kind of like fair game. So if you haven't seen it by now, you're probably going to start seeing spoilery stuff all over the internet anyways. So here's your warning, there will be spoilers if you haven't seen it. Feel free to stop watching or feel free to just watch it on mute because I am still gonna do makeup. But yeah, I wanna just kind of like talk about the movie. I by no means am like a professional movie reviewer. I've never even done a video like this on my channel, but I just thought it'd be fun to talk about it as a fan. And I know a lot of you guys are fans and I'd love to hear like what you thought about it, what your favorite parts were, what you think about my opinion. We can all just chat. We'll have a good time. So I knew I wanted to kind of also tie it in and do another inspired by look. And I've done a lot of red and blue looks with my previous kind of Marvel-esque videos. And this week alone, I've done a lot of green and blue. So I figured why not go ahead and do the Hulk and kind of embrace the whole green and purple motif, you know, the more traditional comic book, like green with the purple shorts. So I have a bunch of palettes in front of me right now. I still haven't fully decided which palette or palettes. I'm probably gonna be using more than one here, but technically it'll be palettes I've already used on my channel, so it's kind of throwback-ish. Okay, so we're gonna do these two palettes. I'll do a Collective Cosmetics highlighter. We're gonna do these two palettes for the main eye look. I do think I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Creepy Cute palette from Strobe Cosmetics just to have a really pastel purple to maybe round it out, and then that should be it. We can get started. Okay, I wanna start out with a light base, so I'm gonna jump into Take a Hint from Creepy Cute, and we'll start with that just kind of lightly through the crease. So let's talk Endgame. Obviously, if you haven't already seen the video that I posted where I was talking about it, I basically said that I absolutely loved it, and I do. I really do love it. I want to go see it again. I was hoping I would have had a chance to go see it again already before I even filmed this video, but you know, weekends get away from you very easily, especially when you have a job and kid and you're doing videos for YouTube. So yes, let me start off by saying that I absolutely loved it. I have actually talked to other people who didn't like it so much, and I've heard their opinions on it. And then I've talked to other people that I know that absolutely loved it just like I did. I think it was a great end to everything. There are obviously flaws, of course. There are things that I didn't like about it, but as a whole, I really, really enjoyed it. And if you didn't, that's your deal. You're more than welcome to not like something. So don't think that, you know, just because you don't like it, you're more than welcome to still share your opinion. If you didn't like it, just be respectful of everybody. So let's just kind of, like I said, this isn't going to be like a movie review. I more just wanted to chat about like the things I really liked and the things I didn't like. So let's talk about the things that I liked first, I guess. I loved Professor Hulk. I loved him. I thought it was so funny. And I really liked the whole like fat Thor. I mean, I know it's horrible to say, but hey, it was very relatable. As a person who tends to turn to food for any kind of like sad feeling, upset feeling, or whatever, it was very relatable. I know some people thought like it was just like making fun of him or like it was just cheapening the character. And there's a lot of people that weren't very happy with that direction. But I liked the way that they were putting it in terms of like, this is somebody who has always succeeded. This is somebody who has never failed and literally can't understand like how he screwed this up because he didn't kill Thanos the first time. You know, that's the whole thing it keeps going back to was he should have gone for the head, he should have gone for the head. Well, had he done that, then Thanos could have never snapped his fingers. So he feels very personally responsible. That's a lot of guilt for one person. Different people are gonna handle it in different ways. I think binging on food and potentially turning to beer is a very normal response for most people. So I don't know why people got so upset by that, but I totally understand it. Let's see, I'm gonna jump into, I think I'm gonna start doing the lid. I think I'm gonna start with Sige from the Paulina palette. So yeah, I liked it. I mean, of course it was funny. I was laughing. That was my biggest thing that I loved when I was in the theater watching it because we went Friday morning, so we didn't go to the Thursday night screening, but we did go Friday morning, so pretty much the day it technically opened. And my husband and I watched it, and I just loved the fact that the entire first half of the movie I was laughing so much. Like, I mean, yeah, it was sad because you had like the devastation, but I think they did a good job of balancing that feeling with some humorous moments, like the whole Thor bit, you know, because even though it was supposed to be like Thor clearly has let himself go because he's clearly depressed, it was still humorous. And of course with Professor Hulk, that thing was really funny because of just the way he was acting, like taking the photos, the selfies with the kids and stuff like that. And like, I loved how when they went back to New York, you know, he was just making fun of how he was when he was just the Hulk. I thought that they did a really good job of having that humor in there because that movie, it definitely, in my opinion, takes you on a very like wide range of an emotional roller coaster. You know, going into it, it's still kind of a very sad thing and it's a little bit shocking with what happens in the very, very beginning when they actually do go to find Thanos, you know, and then you're just kind of like, wow, what next? But then it has those little moments of humor, and I think it kind of helps with that little up and down feeling that you experience, of course, especially with the end and some of those moments that are really heavy and kind of sad. So I definitely know I left that theater feeling just exhausted between laughing and crying and like feeling all sorts of different things. Back into Take a Hint, the green. So yeah, that's just my take on it. I liked the added bit of humor. I thought that it just helped balance your emotions, I guess, because I definitely am the kind of person that gets really into like a movie or a book or TV show, whatever. Like, I am definitely the person that is going to cry when something really sad happens on screen. Like, hello, every Nicholas Sparks movie I've ever watched. Always cry. Back into Sige. And I did cry. I cried, I don't think I cried during Endgame with the exception of when Spider-Man turned to dust. That brought a little tear to my eye. But with this one, I definitely had some tears. So I guess let's talk about the tears. Definitely cried when Natasha died. Definitely cried during that whole Tony scene, like the whole interaction between him and Spider-Man, and then of course him and Pepper. Super sad. And then of course they hit you again at the very end with the video message to his daughter. And that was just so, oh my God, like definitely brought tears to my eyes, definitely overwhelming. It was so sweet. I like that they brought that in there, and I like that they brought in that whole I love you 3000 because I feel like that's now this like really touching anthem for all of us Marvel lovers, which, you know, it's nice to have one of those types of like phrases or something that kind of like bonds a community. Like, this is now the Marvel community, and so we can say things to each other like I love you 3000, and it like means something because those things mean something to us. It's really hard to talk and do makeup at the same time and figure out what I want to do. Sorry guys. Like I said, this is definitely new for me, but I wanted to do something fun like this, and you guys can let me know if you like something like this. I don't know how often I would ever do something like this. Maybe with like the next Fantastic Beast or something, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna do a purple. I'm gonna use the Thingaling shade from the Paulina palette. So let's see, we were talking about like the sad moments. So yeah, definitely the whole death of Iron Man, the I love you 3000. The Natasha thing, oh my God, that broke my heart. I was actually pretty pissed off about that at first. Like, I mean, I was really sad. And then when I left the movie, I was really upset because I really thought they were gonna bring her back. I really thought that it was gonna be one of those things where when Captain America went to bring the Soul Stone back, that they would get her back. I mean, I guess I missed the whole like it's a permanent exchange type of conversation that went down, or maybe I was just ignoring it. But I really thought they were gonna get her back. So when she didn't come back, I was so upset because, I mean, I'm a huge Black Widow fan. I love Black Widow. She's been there from the beginning, you know, and it's like, I really enjoyed the Captain Marvel movie. I know we're kind of going off course here. I really enjoyed the Captain Marvel movie. Not everybody did. I loved it. I don't know why people have to be so critical of things. Can't everybody just enjoy what they enjoy? But I liked it. But my whole thought with that is, you know, we wouldn't have had a Captain Marvel movie had Black Widow not been such a success in all these Avenger movies. You know, all of us girls, I mean, maybe not all of us, but I know me in particular, I absolutely loved seeing, you know, Scarlett Johansson. First off, you know, she's beautiful, you know, she's really fun to watch, but Black Widow was such a fun character. I really loved like her in Winter Soldier. I loved her interactions with Captain America. I liked the fact that she could be a total kick-ass woman and doesn't really have any superpowers, and she still could like hold her own with the team or like have something to contribute. I love Black Widow, and I'm really pissed that they didn't give her her own movie sooner. I'm glad that, you know, obviously she's getting one now. And it kind of sucks that it has to be a prequel, but, you know, it's like there wouldn't have been a Captain Marvel movie had she not been so successful. And then they killed her, you know? But I guess the more I've thought about it now that we've had a little bit of time has passed, I guess I understand you know? I was reading some articles, I don't remember who it was that was saying it, was maybe one of the writers, but they were talking about the decision between if it was gonna be Clint or Natasha that died. And at one point it was gonna end up being Clint, and then one of the females, I don't know if it was a female writer or whatever, but she like really fought for it to be Natasha, because she basically said, you know, don't take her moment from her. This is like her chance to do something. This is her family, and she wants to do whatever she can to save her family. And I guess when you think about it that way, it really does make sense. It was kind of a nice closing to the Black Widow arc. You know, those people have been her family this entire time, and she has done whatever she could, you know, and I think she would have definitely sacrificed herself in a heartbeat for Clint. And I don't like that people compare that it's like, oh, he got to live because he has a family and she didn't. Because I mean, in reality, yeah, she did have a family, she just didn't have kids, but that shouldn't really matter. But I think it was really important for her to do that. And so I guess in the end, it is kind of nice that that's how she got to save everybody in a sense. I mean, really, they owe everything to her. I think that was what pissed me off a lot too, was I wish they would have made a bigger deal out of it. I know they kind of had their little mourning part, you know, after when, you know, they were crying on the dock, but then it's like, okay, but then you had a full-on funeral for Tony at the end. Why didn't you just have a joint Tony and Natasha funeral? Like, explain that to me. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this Jade Shimmery shade from the Blush Tribe Hasina 2 palette, just a little bit on this brush, and kind of like feather it into the purple, like just barely right at the edge of it. And I'll probably go back into the other shades too. Just so that the purple blends nicely. And then I'll take the matte, again, the Seagate shade, and just kind of feather that out. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's pretty much it for the top. I do think I am gonna go ahead and jump into this Moon Twin palette and grab Twinkling. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of it on my finger and just pop it right in the center. Just kind of gives it a little extra shine and sparkle. All right, so let's move down to the lower lash line. I am gonna go, I think, full purple down on the lash line. So for the Blush Tribe Hasina 2, we're gonna take this shade right here, Mohan, and I'm gonna get a liner brush and just line the lash line. So where were we? I think we were talking about the whole Natasha funeral thing. Yeah, I didn't really like the fact that they didn't give her a funeral and they gave Tony one. I don't know why they couldn't have just done a joint funeral. Pretty much everybody that was there would have also mattered to her as well, with the exception of like the kid from Iron Man 3. But I mean, everybody else was like a part of the team, you know? Like, I don't know. I've seen some people that like tried to justify it by saying like, why would they have a funeral for her because she didn't really have any family? But if that whole team was her family, then really that whole extension of Avengers and people that help fight should be part of her family and should want to mourn her. And if anything, it should just be a way of acknowledging the fact that, yeah, Tony ended up snapping it and like ending the whole thing, but had they not had that stone to begin with, he wouldn't have had the opportunity. So really, she's more to thank than him, you know? But yeah, so that definitely irritated me. So yeah, if you're gonna kill her and you're gonna keep her dead, can we at least have a proper funeral that acknowledges both her and Tony? I just felt like that kind of sucked that they didn't give her that like acknowledgement, that send off. Okay, so let's see, what else was there that I either liked or disliked? I really enjoyed the whole time travel aspect of everything. Again, that kind of ties into that whole like humor portion from the beginning. I liked that it was like getting to see a different angle of these movies that, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot of those movies a ton of times. So I really enjoyed being able to see like a different angle of it. You know, like I mentioned in the beginning, the part with the Hulk when they first got to New York and he saw himself when he was, you know, the crazy just monster Hulk, and how he reacted to it and how he was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna smash something, trying to make fun of himself. I thought that was really funny. So I liked that whole part. Of course, you know, the whole Captain America fighting himself part, that was great. The whole America's ass comment was hilarious. I definitely liked the humor in that. Captain America was definitely feisty and sassy in this movie, and I guess, you know, that's how he coped with everything kind of going to hell. Let's see what else. The whole Loki getting away part, I really thought was going to come back to like us seeing him again later on in the movie, but isn't Loki getting his own show on the whole Disney Plus streaming thing, which I guess maybe that's where they're setting that up for, so he can be in there even though he was technically killed. I haven't decided if I'm going to get that whole Disney Plus service, but being that I have a 5-year-old who loves Disney movies and I love Marvel stuff, I probably will get it. So yeah, I was a little surprised we didn't see more from him, like a little return of Loki later on. I really loved the whole, like, you know, Tony getting to talk to his dad. That was kind of a little bit of an emotional, you know, it was nice that he got to talk to his dad. And of course, Steve seeing Peggy. Of course, I was really hoping Peggy would turn around and they would have an interaction at that time. But of course, in the end, they did get to go back and be with each other, which that's been the big, like, I've debated this with so many people because I know, like, they tried to be like, it's not like Back to the Future. It's not like all of the time travel movies you've seen. That's not how time travel works. You just create different branches of, like, different, you know, time streams basically. But it still makes me wonder, the fact that Steve did not come back through at the very end. He didn't come back through the little quantum thing. He walked right up to the bench, which means he stayed in that timeline, right? So it makes me wonder, all of these times in all these other movies where, you know, they've alluded to Peggy's husband and Peggy has kids, or like if you watched Agent Carter, like they never actually, I mean, she had like a kiss with Suva, but nothing ever happened. Like, you kind of wonder, it's like, was she always married to Captain America? Like, did that always happen? And he just kind of like hid in the, you know, shadows and just never let anybody see him? Like, or did he basically erase her actual husband from history by doing that, you know, or like cause a new timeline? I don't know. I personally like to think that it was always him and they were always together, and that's just probably the super romantic part of me. So whether or not that's plausible in this little realm that they've created, I don't know, but I would like to think that it was always him. And so like when he was visiting her in the hospital, you know, either she didn't say anything because obviously she couldn't tell him, or she truly didn't remember because she had dementia. I don't know. But I just thought, you know, it's very odd that they never ever showed a photo of her and her husband, but she had photos of her and her kids. You know, it's like, there's got to be a reason for that. And maybe it's just because they didn't want to show us who she chose. But I mean, clearly they didn't mind showing us her having this attraction to 2 guys in the whole Agent Carter television series, going back into that dark purple. So yeah, I don't know. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that whole aspect, because I've heard people argue it both ways. I've heard people argue it that it's like, no, it's absolutely a different timeline. And then I've heard people that kind of agree with me where it's like, but he walked up, he didn't go through the time stream. Like how, you know, so I'm curious. That one was the one that definitely has confused me the most with all of it. The whole Black Widow not coming back, I can understand that, you know, obviously it's a whole permanent trade thing. So I understand that. It just irritated me at first. Let's see. What else was there? Oh, I don't even know if I said it. I'm sorry if I didn't. I told you I can't do these 2 things at once. So I was doing the light purple shade from Creepy Cute. That's what I've been buffing underneath the dark purple shade. And I'm actually going to work on bringing a mixture of the purple from Creepy Cute, Planchette. And I'm also going to probably mix in a little bit of Iris right here from the Hasina 2. And I'm gonna start kind of working it out and down like I do with my little flared out looks. Just kind of working back and forth between the 2. So yeah, I think those are the major things. Let's see. Oh, I know, I really loved like what they did with the whole like Thor, The Dark World. Because I know like a lot of people didn't really like that movie. It's definitely not my favorite of the Marvel universe. Like, I think Iron Man 2 is probably my least favorite, with the exception of the fact that we got introduced to Black Widow. I didn't really like that one as much. I didn't mind Thor: The Dark World quite as much as some people probably did, I guess. But, yeah, like, I loved that we got to see this little kind of back end of it, especially with Thor still kind of in his depressed state. And I loved the fact that he got to have that little last conversation with his mother. That was really touching. So that was pretty cool. I liked that they did that. I liked that Nebula really got a chance to shine in this movie and like kind of redeem herself. I'm glad that she stayed with the good side in the end. That was pretty cool. I'll be curious to see what they do with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Obviously I guess we're getting Thor in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I don't know if we're gonna be seeing like some shots of him doing push-ups or sit-ups or something. But yeah, I'm dipping into the dark purple now. It'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out. I guess I was a little confused with that part because obviously they brought past Gamora to the future. She kind of came with Thanos and his crew. So when they did the snap, when Tony did his snap, did she survive that? You know, I mean, like technically she was with the bad guys. So Like, did he selectively snap all the bad guys? And if so, was she included in that? So that's another thing that I'm like, I don't really know. I don't understand. I know it's like when you try to make too much sense of these movies, it just makes your head hurt. I'm going into that lime green from Creepy Cute, kind of meeting these two together a little bit. I'm not gonna blend them, just kind of making sure it's as blown out as the other one is. I think that's as much as I want to do there. Okay, let me pop a highlighter in the inner corner. I think I'm actually just going to take Fingerling from the Paulina palette first with a pencil brush and pop that in the inner corner, and then I'll top it with my highlighter. So a little bit of that, and then Moon Twin palette, same color, that twinkling purple shade. I think I'm going to spray it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to kind of cover. I mean, obviously, like I said, I want to be able to chat with you guys in the comments, so you guys might think of a scene or something that I've totally forgotten about, and then we can just kind of chat back and forth about it, because that's what I'd like to do mostly, is interact with you guys. I film at such weird times just because of like filming around when I'm at work and all that, so otherwise I think it would have been fun to do like a live stream. But yeah, the times that I film, I just don't know if anybody would be on. So this is the next best thing. We'll do this video and then we can talk about things in the comments. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab Piggy Bank from ColourPop. So I'm trying to think. I think I said a lot of things that were positive, a lot of stuff that I enjoyed about the movie. I mean, like I said, I really personally loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I don't care what anybody says. I thought it was amazing. But yeah, really aside from the decision to kill Natasha, and that's just because I hate that she's gone now, but mostly, you know, the whole non-funeral thing, that pissed me off. This is Purple Violet from NYX. Other than that, I guess the biggest complaint would just be that, you know, it's hard with a movie that's that big and the cast is that big to like hit everybody, focus on everybody. Like, it kind of sucked that they just introduced Captain Marvel as this big, massive character, and then we saw her in like, what, 2 or 3 scenes? Like, she was in the very last battle, she was in the very beginning, and then she was in like a teleconference. I thought that kind of sucked because I thought she was a really awesome character and I thought that she was very underused. I hate that people make fun of like, oh, she got a haircut. What the hell are you supposed to do in 5 years? Are you not allowed to get a haircut in 5 years, even if it is post-apocalypse? I mean, come on. Just because Natasha didn't cut her hair doesn't mean nobody else can. Clearly the men cut their hair, otherwise they'd all have like long shaggy hair at this point. So, and of course, as a current pixie wearing woman, I love Captain Marvel's new pixie. But yeah, it did kind of suck that you barely got to see some of these characters, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy that this movie really revolved around our like core Avengers team that we've spent this last like 22 movies getting to know, you know. I loved the way they were brought back with the whole like on your left that Sam said before they popped up. I thought that was a really cool little callback. And you know, some of it was really badass. I know this is gonna sound probably really bad coming from me because I'm a woman, I should be all about like the girl power. But that whole scene where, you know, Captain Marvel comes in and she takes the gauntlet from Spider-Man and she's like about to go, you know, go with it, and Spider-Man looks and he's like, I don't know how you're gonna get through all that, and all the women stuff, and they're like, she's got backup. Yes, that's a super badass moment because you see all these women, all these superhero women in one place, and it is like a really empowering moment. But first off, it's a little bit sombering because the one who led the charge with these movies, Black Widow, is not there. Secondly, Captain Marvel's a pretty big badass. I honestly don't think she needed any of their help to make it through, and it really probably should have been a lot easier for her to make it through. I thought that was a little weird. I mean, she's got some pretty amazing abilities. She could have just like blasted her way right through there without anybody's help. So as much as it was a cool moment, I was just like, really? She didn't need the help, but okay. I'm gonna start doing some liner if I can talk while doing this. I really enjoyed all the like little Easter eggs that they had. You know, I mean, obviously they always have Easter eggs, but things like the whole cheeseburger reference where Happy asks the daughter at the end what she wants and Morgan says she wants a cheeseburger, and you know, basically it's the whole reference to the first Iron Man movie where he said all he wanted was cheeseburgers in a press conference. I thought that was really sweet. I thought the whole elevator scene with Captain America was really cool because I actually thought they were gonna do a full-on like elevator battle again, but I guess then that would have spoiled things for the future. Okay, apparently I could not talk and do liner at the same time. Okay, so we're pretty much finished with what I want to do for the eye look. I'm just gonna add mascara and lashes. So let me go ahead and just do the other eye, add the mascara and lashes, and I'll pick out a lip, and then I'll just kind of come back and we'll just finish up some final thoughts on what I was gonna say with the movie and all that stuff. So let me do that and be right back. All right guys, it has started storming like crazy here. The power has already gone out once. I'm trying to zip through finishing this as quickly as I can before I lose power again because I'm pretty much so close to the end. I added lashes. These are Blissful Baby from Likely Lashes. For lips, I did Suva Beauty, The Unconscious. We're gonna do one little last like finishing touch, which is adding the purple twinkling highlighter to the cheeks, kind of a little blown out. Let me grab my brush. So this is a little bit more of a dense, kind of slightly fluffy brush. I like these for these types of highlighters. And we're gonna kind of buff it around and into the shadow. All right, and then I am gonna add just a touch more blush. So this is the little Tarte palette. I don't even know what shade. This is the shade Authentic. It's kind of a purpley-ish blush. Pop a little bit more of that on the cheek. It's not as purpley-ish as I wish it was. I don't think I have any really purple blushes, but I like to be a little blush heavy on a look like this. All right, so that's it. This is the finished look. Okay, so I did just want to like give a quick little wrap up. Hopefully I will have time before the power cuts out again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be really interested to see how it is in the editing, like if it was super rambly, and if it is, I'm sorry. I'll probably still post it just because I only have so much time to film and I hate wasting a good video, and I do like the way the makeup turned out, so I don't want to waste that at all. So hopefully the format was okay. Like I said, it wasn't meant to be a review. It was more just meant to be me just kind of casually chatting with you guys about some parts that I really loved and enjoyed or didn't like. Mostly things I loved, honestly. And like I said, what I'm looking most forward to is just talking with you guys in the comments, hearing what your favorite parts were, or hearing your opinion on some of like my thoughts or theories. Like I said, with the whole Captain America theory, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Like, was it always the same timeline or did he split into different timelines? And like what your favorite parts or least favorite parts were. And if you didn't like it, that's totally fine. Feel free to like explain why you didn't like it, because believe me, I listened to one of my friends completely rag on the movie because he hated so many things out of it. It was a bit of a downer, but in the end I was like, okay, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion and I really loved it, and just because you didn't like it doesn't mean that I can love it any less, or doesn't mean I have to love it any less. So but yeah, like feel free to like chat with each other in the comments, just, you know, be nice and respectful. But yeah, that's it. If there's like other kind of inspired by series that you guys would like to see in the future, let me know. This has really been fun doing a couple of random like Marvel inspired by videos, and I can still do more. One time in the future I would like to do like a Loki look, but I've been doing a lot of green lately, so I need to space that out a bit. Maybe I could do like a black and red for Black Widow. That would be cool. But yeah, there's other, you know, universes. I've thought about like revisiting the Harry Potter houses because I haven't done that since I started my channel. So if you guys want to see some kind of like interpretation of certain fandoms, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go hope that my power doesn't go out and try to enjoy the rest of my evening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.